I don't remember. I don't recall if this was locked or not. I don't recall that.
Okay.
But I know it's hard on.
I am here to share a story we have all heard that is ever changing. And it's the story about our beautiful missing summer moon Utah whales. We'll start right here with an Amber Alert that stated she was last seen wearing a pink shirt, gray pants, and believed to be barefoot. Summer was last seen outside her home in the 100 block of Ben Hill Road in Rogersville, Tennessee. And then we have Grandma Bly. And the story she told us was, "Hun, I and Candace was planting flowers right before she went missing." Let's make this bigger for you if I can. "We came the camper, had a piece of candy. Mom walked Summer halfway back home to see her brothers. Ian, they said she went down to her room to play and she was gone. Mom helped me straighten my knee brace out 4 minutes at most. Said she had to go check on the kids, and Summer has been missing since." And then we have dear old dad, Donald Wells. Not senior. His father is also Donald Wells. And initially, we heard from him. We tried to scare her from that, telling her there's bears and other monsters, so I know she wouldn't go far. Someone abducted her, but thanks. Mommy hasn't said a word. I hear she's talking in Facebook groups when she feels like it or responding to personal messages. I think it depends on the topic at hand. But we've never seen her on the media. The last story we heard went along with the garden story that Grandma told us, but it's a little different, as we heard nothing about Candy from Dad, and we also heard from Dad that Mom watched her walk in specifically, but Grandma says Mom walked Summer halfway back home to see her brothers. That's different than Dad saying Mom watched her walk in because she wanted to go play with her toys. The story progressed from the garden into this basement and out of this door. And all of their stories end the same. Summer has been missing since. Not science. Shall we continue? Let's.
We'll puck it inside the WVLT Now desk. I'll take just a couple of moments to let more folks get on this Facebook Live, and then we'll break down what we know to this hour about the missing 5-year-old girl out of remote Hawkins County, Summer Wells, as well as new development in the situation as far as hearing for the first time from Summer's family. Again, if we go through sort of the timeline in this situation, is about 6 o'clock Tuesday, the family reported this little girl missing. Summer Wells, again, 5 years old. She was last seen wearing gray shorts and a pink shirt, no shoes, and she was last seen along the Ben Hill Road in Hawkins County about 6 o'clock Tuesday afternoon into early evening. So the most recent development in this situation, in the search for this 5-year-old little girl, is her father, Don Wells, released a statement to our CBS affiliate out of Johnson City, WJHL. This is the first communication any sources of the media have had from the family of Summer Wells. Don Wells, again, the father of this little 5-year-old girl, released a written statement to the CBS affiliate in Johnson City, saying in part, quote, "She would never leave our hill." He continued on in that written statement to say that he believes that she was kidnapped. A lot of what's been going on in remote Hawkins County for the past 2 days has been searching high and low for Summer Wells. They were actually in a news conference today, said that they had just gotten to a mile radius in their search area of where they are beginning to search for this young 5-year-old. The problems that they are having in this search process for, again, Summer Wells, who you see right now, is it is so remote and the terrain is so steep and so difficult to deal with that they're having to be extremely careful in what they do and the process in which they do it. Search crews are actually, for the most part, stopping their search at 8 p.m. every night. Now, that doesn't mean that they just cut everything off and won't search until the next morning. They just stop it at 8 p.m. unless they get a credible tip that they have to search, and then they go back with these trained crews. There are 19 crews in remote Hawkins County right now searching for Summer Wells. And in the process of doing that, they're having to protect themselves, too. And in that same news conference that I mentioned a little bit earlier, officials today, for the first time, said that they are working strictly on professionals. While a lot of folks have offered their assistance with not much background into knowing how to search this terrain and searching for missing people, officials today in a news conference asked for the public for no volunteer help, to stick with the 19 crews that they have searching these remote areas of Hawkins County right now. They have asked neighbors to look at any trail cams that they might have for this little 5-year-old girl and anything of the sort to try and aid in the search for 5-year-old Summer Wells. And so again, this is what she looks like. A little 5-year-old girl with blonde hair. She was last seen wearing gray shorts and a pink shirt near Ben Hill Road in Hawkins County. You can kind of get a feeling for what you're seeing out in this area from the video that you're looking at right now. There's another picture of Wells right there. A lot of what we have been kept to is the Baptist church that you just saw. Officials won't let anyone near the family's house. There's been a sheriff's deputy's car parked right at the foot of their driveway the entire time. When our crews on scene have tried to get video footage of that, they've directed us away, saying strictly that they were under directions from their boss not to let us near that home. And so you can see right there from the WVLT drone just sort of really what people are looking at in this area in the search for this 5-year-old. It's incredibly dense. It's a mountainous region. We talked to some folks out there who said, yeah, you really don't want to be out there after dark just because of where this is. But again, 19 crews are out there searching right now. The most recent development from all of this today was the father, Donald Wells, he goes by Don, gave a written statement to the CBS affiliate out of Johnson City, WJHL. And in that statement, he says he believes that his daughter was kidnapped. And a quote in that statement says, quote, "She would never leave our hill." That came out almost towards the end of searching or after, and so that's definitely going to be a question for officials tomorrow. They said in today's news conference that they are not ruling anything out until Summer is found. Again, the father issuing a statement tonight saying he believes his daughter was kidnapped. Says there's no evidence to support that, but quote, that she would never leave our hill. This is going to continue to be updated throughout the night with any more developments. And of course, we're going to follow this until hopefully a positive outcome of this 5-year-old little girl, Summer Wells, being found in remote Hawkins County. But finally, to sum it up, she went missing about 6 o'clock Tuesday night. She was last seen wearing gray shorts and a pink shirt. She's a blonde-haired little 5-year-old girl, and she was last seen near Ben Hill Road in Hawkins County. Tonight, the father, not speaking to television stations or print media, but saying in a written statement to the CBS affiliate out of Johnson City, he believes his little 5-year-old girl was kidnapped, saying again, quote, "She would never leave our hill." Officials ask anyone with information to either call 911 or call the TBI tip line at 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Now, I put this in the best order that I could based on the pieces of the puzzle. And I'm just going to try to flow on through to what I believe happened next. If it's a little out of order, we still have all the pieces of the puzzle. And if I'm missing any, feel free to let me know in the comments. But I feel like this is what we heard next.
Tonight, the radio scanner traffic from emergency dispatchers the night Summer Wells disappeared. Take a listen.
Being around from 110, 110 Ben Hill Road off of Beach Creek should be the first residence on your right. Reference to a missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in and advised that the mother had went for a walk, came home, now they can't find her. They've been yelling for her. She's been gone for about 10 minutes now.
Again, audio from police scanner traffic that evening. Dispatchers referenced Summer Wells as a 4-year-old. We now heard that correction the following day that, in fact, she is 5 years old.
And then we heard this.
Just telling us, kind of what you've been feeling the last few days in the search for Summer. Can you just, let us know what you and your family are experiencing at this time?
We really appreciate that outpouring of love, and I've never seen so many good people in one place. We just really appreciate everybody trying to help that they have, law enforcement and all these volunteers that are here. I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. I just pray that God, in His awesome power, for His name's sake, would please let Summer be okay, and please come home.
I can't imagine how you've been feeling these past couple days.
Yeah, it's been rough, but we we believe in resurrection. Never seen so many Christians in one place in my life, like I say, and that's pretty awesome to see that. And I just hope God in His mercies will deliver someone home to us.
Pretty unlikely for something of her to do to walk off like that.
Yeah, she wouldn't do that. We even had one of our neighbors say they pulled up in the driveway and she ran to the door. So we warn her all the time. There's bears and other things that we try to warn our kids about all these things all the time.
And can you tell us a little bit, what Summer was doing that afternoon or that evening?
She was planting flowers with her mother and her grandmother, and she wanted to go into the house. So my wife watched her go into the door, and she went into the house, and the boys were on the internet, of course, and she wanted to go downstairs and play with her toys. So when her mother come in, she says, "Where's Summer?" She went down in the basement. She didn't answer, so she went down there, and she was gone. So she went out the basement door, which was unlocked, and really haven't seen her since.
And so then the boys, just when she walked in the house, what about time was that?
I'm not sure. 5:36. I'm not sure.
Not knowing what happened, do you have any kind of a gut feeling about it? Do you have any kind of instinct feeling about it?
I wished I did. Just some bad person grabbed her, but we have no idea that the FBI and the police have covered every single base, everything that anybody can think of, they've covered.
What would you say to people, as you're searching, what are you asking from other people? I know there's so many prayers coming out right now. Is there anything else you want to ask of the community and the public?
I just want to thank everybody for the outpouring of love. That's all.
Is there anything that you'd like to add that maybe we didn't ask you, or?
Not that I can think of, sir.
Have they told you about what they might be trying to do today specifically? Or?
They're still searching. They're doing everything they can. They're doing every single thing they can. We've tried to, we try to go to them with other leads and stuff. And they're like, we've already checked all that out. And, the sex offenders, they've checked all them. Anything that we can cover, they've already covered almost probably every base that they can. We're trying to think and beat our brains out. They've covered everything that we can think of already.
Are they asking anything of you other than just people that you might suspect or, situations you might suspect?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm at work all the time, and Candace was on one side of the house when she got gone. Not even, 50, 60 feet away. We know she wouldn't leave the property. There's no way she would do that.
Have you ever seen anyone in the neighborhood that doesn't belong?
Well, there are, people that come through there looking for drugs in the area, and that's probably with any place, but no. They've checked all them things out too. They've got a hold of everybody. They've tracked everybody down that they possibly can. They've covered all the bases that they can.
Are you all from this area?
I'm originally from Utah, but I come out here to help my mother, and I've been here on and off for the past 25 years or 30 years or 40, I don't know, but yeah.
So, then we heard this.
I would be interested in knowing what happened that day. I know it's going to be hard for you to have to relive, but...
Well, sir, I was at work, but from what my wife has told me and stuff, her and her mother and Summer were planting flowers by her grandma's trailer, which is about, 20 feet from the house there, real close. To the house, and Summer all of a sudden said, "Mom, I want to go in the house." So she said, "Fine," and her brothers were in there watching YouTube, and so she watched her walk in the door and went in there, and then she went in there, and her brother said that she was just going to go downstairs and play with her toys. So she went downstairs, and then Mom come in and says, "Where's Summer?" Well, she's downstairs playing with her toys. And they hollered for her, and there was no answer, so she went down the stairs, and she was nowhere to be found. She went out the basement door. The door was unlocked, but she's never left the area. She might be on the other side of the house, because I went out there before and called for her. She come out from behind the house, because she just has to be outside. She's an outside type of person, But she was gone, buddy. And my wife called me, and I said, hang up for me and call 911 right now. And I was was at work, and I called 911, threw all my tools that I could in the vehicle, and from Jonesboro, I come out. I made it out here before anybody because I was freaking out, And when I got home, I drove to the bottom property, and I realized that all my neighbors and stuff were combing the woods looking for her, and I realized right then and there that she was not there. I knew right then and there that she was gone. I just, because she would never leave there on her own. Somebody had taken her out.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is she capable of going through? They've covered miles of area to search.
No, she would never leave because for one thing, we have bears and wild dogs, and we got druggies that come around to other people's houses and stuff, all hours of the night. But this was like at 5:30 in the evening, which makes me think, someone was laying in wait. I've heard somebody say that these people track kids down on Facebook and find them, and I've heard that story. I mean, I don't know, but all I know is she's definitely not anywhere around there. I think somebody's abducted her and took her out of the area.
Wow. Well, have you noticed anybody suspicious?
No, and they've done such a good job. They followed every single lead possible. They have tracked down all kinds of people. Yeah, they've tracked down everybody. They even, had me in there, lie detector tests on the 9 yards.
They have to rule out every possibility.
Yes, absolutely. So it didn't bother me to do it whatsoever. I understand that. And a lot of times the parents are responsible.
It's recent history that's been the case. Or like a family member.
Right, absolutely, yes. But we don't associate with all them people. We try to associate with church people and stuff like that, And Summers, they got a lot of friends in church. They just love her to death,
Where do y'all go to church?
Seventh-day Adventist, sir, right across the street from Walmart, in Kingsport.
Oh, okay.
We was going to the Baptist church, but when I found out the true Sabbath on Saturday, I wanted to go to a Saturday going church, so I thought I'd go check them out one time, and we've been there ever since.
Oh, wow. What have you all been doing while this has all been going on?
Just trying to cope. With everything.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the police. I can't be alone right now for some reason, and so if I have to, I'll go down there and talk to the police and just hang out with them, because I just can't be alone right now. I don't know.
How are Summer's brothers doing?
They're coping with it better than me and their mother are, and I don't understand that. But when they really think about it, they're upset, but they're coping with it way better. Especially the youngest one. It's like I don't know. It's weird to me, but
maybe it doesn't seem real to them.
Yeah. But me, the most I've done is watch the news a little bit. I can't focus on nothing. Originally I'm from Utah, and I met my wife in Arkansas, and we come out here to help my mother because she got sick, and then she ended up dying from, I can't remember what it's called, but anyways, but she left us that property, and we've been there ever since.
Okay.
We've made Tennessee our home. There's a lot of good people here.
When did y'all move here?
About 13 years ago from Arkansas. I was about to help my mother because she was in need.
So your kids, this has been their only home then?
Yes, sir.
Born and raised?
Yes, sir. Well, except for my oldest one. He was born in Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the rest, I think, the rest were all born here, yes.
And does your wife have a Wisconsin connection?
Yes. Well, her sister, my wife's sister come up missing, like, I don't remember how many years ago it was, but they never found no trace of her either.
Where was that?
I don't know. I really don't know. They never pay attention to any of that part of it. But,
yeah. Do you know where she grew up in Wisconsin?
I sure don't. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I have a criminal history. I do, when I was in Utah, when I was younger, but I've turned my life around, doing my best to be a commandment keeper, for sure. Okay. Me and myself, they can do whatever they want to me as long as my kids are safe, that's how I feel.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and so what is your plan now? I mean, what is your outlook?
Well, my only plan now is just, no matter what happens, either way, I'm stay in church, be a commandment keeper, and wait for the resurrection day, buddy.
Yeah.
That's all we can all do,
Do you have hope for Summer being found?
Well, I have hope, but, statistically speaking, or looking at it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. A tough thing to think about.
Well, yeah, of course. I'd feel for anybody in that position. I'm sure you would too.
Absolutely.
Any kid that's being tortured or hurt in any way, and missing their parents and their good friends in church and stuff like that. Just unimaginable what she's going through.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I pray for is for peace for her somehow. I wish she could have got to know Jesus better or something, but she's so young. She don't know what all that stuff means in church, but
I don't think God holds that against children.
Oh, no, not at all. I just wish she had peace of mind, that's all.
Yeah. Do you have any hope that this is all going to end well?
I have hope, buddy, but you looked at the statistics of it all, I mean, through our church and other churches, the worldwide prayer, was going on for her. So, plus all the law enforcement agents are praying and everybody, we're just hoping that God will turn it around, somehow, some miraculous way, but,
Okay. All right. Well, I know I'm taking up a lot of your time, and I really appreciate you talking to me.
You're fine, buddy. Thank you so much.
Take care, and I'm praying for you, and I'm praying for your family.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. Thank you.
Summer's dad, Donald Wells, also joined.
She loves a lot of people, and a lot of people love her. We really appreciate what they've done. There's hundreds and hundreds of people out there, and they're trying their best to find her, and we really appreciate them very much.
He recalled the moment of terror he found out his daughter was missing.
And I come from work and drove home as fast as I possibly could and drove to the bottom of our property, and I seen my boys here walking around and my neighbors all looking and searching, and I knew right then that she was gone, because she don't never leave the property by herself anyway.
And the search for Summer continued.
I know she didn't walk away from this property by herself or off this yard by her swing. I feel in my heart that somebody has came up here and took her, has lured her away from here. Me and my mother and her were planting flowers. And we went in after we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from Grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers, and I said okay, and I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV, and I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back, and within 2 minutes I came back, and I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone. I don't go on walks around here or runs because I'm scared of the bears and snakes and even the coyotes that are around here. Well, whoever has my daughter, I pray and hope that they have not harmed her and they bring her back to us safe and sound.
Just go to the FBI, the police, and clear it up. I mean, I don't know, it seems kind of elusive.
It's really strange that I've never seen this truck, and I've never heard of it until just recently. But I wish they would come forward and explain themselves. And if you're not a suspect, at least come forward and say what you've seen. She was a tomboy. I shaved my head. She wanted to have her head shaved like me and the boys did.
She tried to shave her head
She tried
in
to
the
shave her
back
head
and make
herself.
it, I think you can see it in some of the pictures, and it was getting out of control. So we decided to shave her head off and let it grow back long, and she shaved her head so she wouldn't feel bad, and but it didn't bother her at this point. Well, I knew right away that she was abducted. You know, I knew that right away, and that's what I told them from the beginning. But they have to go through their, I forget the word.
Investigation.
They have to do one step at a time, I guess. But I'm sorry that they had to spend so many man hours in these woods and everything. I've seen them limping and everything else, and I feel for them. But I just wish there was a way that neighbors could search neighbors' houses, and then if they're not willing, get a search warrant or something. But there's just no way you can search every single house, in the eastern United States or whatever. But I wish there was a way. Just thankful for the person or persons that's doing that, out of love, trying to get information and trying to get her found. We thank them from the bottom of our hearts.
It means a lot.
And we thank everybody who's trying so hard and praying so hard. And she's an awesome young lady, and we just want her back. But, there's always going to be haters, and it's always going to be that way in this world. And we just want to focus on the good friends and Christian people that are trying to help us and praying for us and praying for Summer. And we thank them from the bottom of our hearts. And that's the kind of people we try to relate with and socialize with. So we don't know anything about, no red truck, or we hardly know many of our neighbors. Because we just try to be around good people. And we do have good people in this area. We found out since this has all happened. We got some real good neighbors and good folks everywhere. But
the most important thing is to bring Summer home safe. I'm sorry that you feel this way about us, but we love our children with everything we have. We've never went without, thanks to Summer's daddy and my husband. He's always provided for us and has worked as much as he could and can and still is. And I'm sorry that you guys feel that way, but that's my baby, and nobody would ever treat her like that as long as I was around, ever.
She loves to dance. She would always want me. She says, "Daddy, hold my hand so I can twirl." And she would just like to twirl and twirl and twirl until my arm got tired, I put out there that one of Summer's favorite songs was Godzilla, and they say, and they're jumping all over me about past tense was, well, I'm sorry about that. It's just.
She also liked the song by New Breed. It was called House, My House. She sung that a lot of times when I play it on the TV. She loved to dance. She
liked to think of herself as a princess, and and all that, like all young girls do. And
she loved Frozen. She loved to be that Elsa, and
I think she really loved to be in church because she felt a lot of love there. And I think you can't explain what that love is, but you feel it and you know it, when you're young. And she felt that there, and she loved everybody in that church, or she loves everybody in that church. I should rephrase that because they'll tear that apart as past tense, and I apologize again for that. I hope she gets to come home, and I hope she gets to be with our church family again.
Our best friend in that church was Robin. She loved her to death.
Yeah, she looked up to women that were...
She come to that church, she went looking for Robin. That was her favorite person.
Any woman that was professional, that
was pretty, beautiful.
She looked up to those kind of women. She, they were, the word I'm looking for, I can't think of it, but she looked up to them. She'd give them a run for their money every day. She'd give them a run for their money. And there was times, we'd be, at our boys, like, don't do this and don't do that. And next thing you know, a stick would come up and just whop them, and it'd be like, Summer, don't do that.
Summer was the boss of the family.
Yeah,
she
typical girl.
When they get on a line, she'd put them in line.
She'd do her best.
She loved to play in the mud and the water and swing on her swing and enjoy dirt.
When I run the lawnmower around, she would run behind me. When the boys run their bikes around, she, as fast as that little bike could go, she would be behind them running and keeping up with them, no problem. She loved to run. She just loved to run, and she could pull herself up on that swing, her full body weight with her two hands, and she could do that. None of the other boys can do that, but she can.
Was she at school yet?
No, she's going this year.
This was supposed to be her first year.
She's been, we did all the, what?
I took care of everything.
Yeah.
I had her already took on all of her shots and registered in the school ready for this year.
Yeah. I just never expected for anyone to get a hold of my heart like she has, because I try to guard my heart as much as I can, but she holds my heart in her little hands, and I love her with all my heart. I'd do anything to have her back.
Your old little girl.
If there's any way, if you can find it in your heart, to please release her somehow. I don't know how you might do that. I mean, 'cause you're probably scared of going to prison for the rest of your life and everything else, I'm sure. But please find it in your heart, have mercy, and find a way of letting her go, and where we can get her back. And just please have mercy on her, and and us, and her brothers. And she's such a loving, good spirit. Please don't hurt her. Please let her come home. My biggest fear is, her being tormented or locked in a dungeon or basement or something, because she loved to be outside all the time. That was her, unfortunately, her downfall. 'Cause a lot of times the boys would be inside and we'd be like, "Where's Summer? Why'd you leave her out there alone? Go get Summer now." And that's happened over and over again. And we'd come out and she would always be close by, but we was always coming up. She had to be outside. She was an outdoor person. And
she loved to be outside.
And I'm so afraid that she's locked away. She's such a loving heart and everything, and I'm afraid that she won't be able to, blocked away where she can't be outside or play with a puppy or anything, love nature, and that's my greatest fear, that she's not able to do any of these things anymore, or that she could possibly, I don't want to think she's dead, but it's a possibility. I don't want to address all the negativity. I just want to focus on the positive
And find her
because
daughter.
it's so easy to get, lost in that negativity and stuff, and it's just not worth it. So I'm just, I appreciate y'all, the good things you say, and your prayers. That's awesome.
When my sister went missing, I was in between Arkansas and Tennessee. I don't know all of what happened or what did happen, but I hope that they find her too and bring her home safely too.
But yeah, there's nothing. She disappeared without a trace. They haven't found anything, haven't found a body, nothing. And when you see cases like that, that's why I lose hope on Summer. I want to keep hope, but sometimes I lose hope.
Lose it.
And I think, well, maybe we won't never see her again, so I start thinking in past tense. Sorry. But I'm trying to keep hope up. I'm trying to keep my prayers up. And
me and my mother and her were planting flowers. And we went in after we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from Grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers. And I said, okay, and I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV. And I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes I came back, and I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone.
And when I got home, I drove to the bottom property, and I realized that all my neighbors and stuff were combing the woods looking for her, and I realized right then and there that she was not there. I knew right then and there that she was gone.
So we know everybody grieves differently. Absolutely. But listening to Don, for him to be notified of his daughter's death, to throw as many tools as he can into his truck, and then leave straight from work, driving so fast that he beat everybody else there, everybody else being law enforcement, I'm assuming, and EMS. And they were about 30 minutes away. He was about 45 or so. Either way, even if it took him 45 full minutes to get there, he pulled up at the bottom of the road, he said, bottom of the hill. He saw all the neighbors searching in the woods. He saw his sons. And he knew right then and there that she was gone. She was gone, buddy. That's what he said. So that made me think, is there a thing called instant acceptance when it comes to grief? Because I've never heard of it. I've heard of the 5 stages of grief. Is he different than the majority? Because here it says the final stage of grief is acceptance. The final stage of grief is acceptance, not the very first stage within 45 minutes. In this last phase, people begin to come to grips with their own mortality, that of a loved one, or the circumstances surrounding a tragic loss. I just feel like Summer went missing before we found out Summer went missing. and they've had time to accept the reality of it. Yeah, it's hard to cope now that everybody's in your business and you have to keep that lie going, but you seem to have accepted her death immediately. But that's not a thing. It actually says here the hardest stage of grief for many people is what's known as acceptance. The hardest stage. It's the final stage of the traditional 5 stages of grief. Some people are never able to fully accept that their loved one is gone, and they aren't able to change that. But you, Dawn, you knew and you accepted it in less than 1 hour. You need to adjust your speakers because I've taken clips from the interview room interviews, and at different points the volume may be higher than others, and I don't want to burst out your eardrums. So please adjust your speakers.
Not bad for an old man.
And I mean, I wanted to get out the house anyway.
Sure.
I ain't even gonna prove it to her. I just wanted to get out the house.
Okay. And so what happened then?
And then her grandmother calls her and says to come pick her up when we're sitting right there.
Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. So so from here, where do you guys go?
From here, we go to the hospital.
Okay.
Pick up her mother.
Pick up grandma.
Not even like 10 minutes later,
okay.
We go to Walgreens. So we went there.
You go there first,
and then,
after you pick up grandma.
Yeah.
Then what happened?
And then we put this prescription in.
Okay.
Which is like probably about like 10, 15 minutes.
Do you know what kind of drugs?
No, I have no idea. She wouldn't say the name to it.
Got it.
And then we handed the prescription. They said about like 10, 15. Well, it was going to be 30 to 35 points.
Who went inside the store?
Nobody went in. We went through the drive-thru.
Got it.
The drive-thru. Ball field.
Okay, so before we get there, let's go back to the drive-thru at Walgreens. Then what happened?
Then we went, well, she had to go get cigarettes because her mom complains of cigarettes all the time.
Where'd she get the cigarettes?
All right, so you know that Walgreens, right?
Yeah.
So there's this like daycare around there somewhere. It's called like Kitty College.
Yeah, I saw that on the side, on the right.
Yeah, so there's a discount tobacco store.
Okay, so then what happens?
Then after that, we go to the horse stable part.
So you drive to the horse stable?
Straight to the horse stable.
Right from there, you go right to you got the discount store, and you head right to the water park. So from the water hole now, or I'll call it a water hole.
From the water hole,
where do you go?
We go to this thing called Hippie House.
Hippie House?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what took place then?
Then we went to grab that prescription.
That's when you went to the prescription?
Yes.
At Walgreens?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was ready?
Yeah.
So from there, where do you guys go?
From there, we go to Sonic.
Where?
Sonic.
Walmart. Okay, so from there, did they eat them there? Did you guys eat them there?
No, we ate them on the way to Price.
After Walmart.
We're waiting on my mother's prescription from the drugstore at Walgreens on Fort Henry and Moreland Drive, and Warriors was straight across, so we just figured I'd take her over there to go swimming for a little bit while we waited on my mom's prescription. We weren't even there but 20 minutes.
And so then Summer came back here with you later that afternoon, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so was there anybody else with you?
No, not when we came home, no.
Was there anybody else swimming with you? People I think had questions about
wanted to go with because he didn't want to be around his grandmother because, as he would call it, she's a. I'm sorry, that's what he said. And I said, okay, well, I gotta go pick up Mom from the hospital, and then we gotta go do Walgreens, and then I'll take you home. Well, we had to wait for Mom's prescription at Walgreens, so we just went up to Warriors. There was all kinds of trash everywhere at Warriors when we showed up. And I let Summer out to play. And we just stood there for about 15, 20 minutes. And then we all got back in the truck and went and got Mom's prescription. And I took him home. And then we came home.
About how many hours was that before she was reported missing?
You know, I really can't tell you all the time details because time gets away from you when you're trying to enjoy yourself.
Okay. Still thinking out loud. If we already know it was. So now we're at Walgreens in Kingsport. So what I'm seeing and saying is that the prime time for them to get rid of a pillow or anything else from that vehicle would have been between dropping H off and traveling out of Kingsport back into Rogersville. It was the longest point of the day, and the only people in the vehicle were Summer, Candace, and Grandis. What happened between dropping H off and arriving at home? Or did they actually make it home and go and put up groceries and get a piece of candy and transplant cactuses? And did that baby go into her home and disappear? I don't think so. But what do you think? This was their day. The last day anybody ever saw Summer. This was her day. What happened? Where is Summer Wells?
There for about 15, 20 minutes, and then we all got back in the truck and went and got Mom's prescription, and I took him home, and then we came home.
You walked into the house.
I walked into here. Get up. I walked in here, and them three were sitting right here in a row with their eyes glued to the TV, like always. And I said, boys, where's your sister at? Well, she just went downstairs, Mom, to play. So I went over here like this, because this is where the stairs are.
Okay.
It's actually down under there.
Oh, down into her bedroom.
Our bedroom, and then hers is on the other side.
Oh, okay, in the basement.
Yeah, in the basement.
Well, this makes sense now, see?
And then I yelled and I said, Summer, Summer. And she didn't, I listened for a minute, I didn't hear nothing. So I went like this, because this is how I would get down here.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if you want to come down here or not.
Do I got to be tiny to get in there?
No, you should.
Can we come in from the other side?
Well, we can, but it'd make more sense if you went this way.
Okay, I'll follow you. Oh, man. Good grief,
No, I know
girl.
if my 6-foot husband can fit down here, you can.
Huh?
My husband's 6 foot, I know if he can fit, you can.
This... Oh, my gosh. Way to go.
This is my husband's room.
Okay.
And over here, well, it's a mess again.
That's all right.
But this is where Summer and little Waylon was. Because Waylon's only 9.
Okay.
And they stayed down here. And these are all her toys, all her Paw Patrols,
All her movies. She's got a movie about The Savior?
The boys I brought back down here after she went missing because I didn't want them upstairs by themselves anymore.
Okay. And this is all her toys.
Them are all her toys. All these toys that are down here are dang near all her, except for like the trucks and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the game system. That's the boys'.
Okay.
But them are all her toys.
And she's really into Paw Patrol. I see that.
Yeah, I've been collecting from day one. And these are all her little ponies that I've bought. And then these are them girls that she likes. Them new fashion, I don't know what they are, little princesses or whatever. She's like all kinds of, here's one of them bracelets.
Oh, that's just one of them what do they call these? Oh, this is a little pony bracelets.
Yeah, I don't know what they were really called, but she liked them, and so I just, every time I go to the garage sale, I'd buy her what she wanted.
Okay.
You know, when I got a little bit of money, I spend it on the kids.
Yeah, this is her, I understand her now.
Yeah.
Even better. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is really important.
But yeah, I come down and I searched. I looked up underneath the beds under there. We can't really get on. I can't get under there.
Yeah, yeah.
But I looked under there, looked under every blanket I could possibly look under.
Yep.
And then I come over here and I looked on both sides. I didn't see her nowhere. And I don't recall if this was locked or not. I don't recall that.
Okay.
But I know it's hard.
Tennessee Sheriff on Summer Wells. Everybody is still a suspect, person of interest, however you want to put it. Summer Wells was last seen at her home in Rogersville in June. Tennessee investigators vowed this week that the search for missing Rogersville 5-year-old Summer Wells is not over, almost 2 months after her mother reported her missing from her home. Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson said in a newly released video that his department is still actively working to find the missing girl. I understand people's curiosity about where we're at in this case as far as the investigation. I know people speculate, and I understand that, Lawson said, but they have to understand our number one goal from day one is to find Summer. And although investigators have not said who they believe is responsible for the girl's disappearance, Lawson had a message for whoever is responsible. Everybody is still a suspect, person of interest, however you want to put it, Lawson said, and we're still very intensely looking into it. Last week, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation gave its first official update on the case in nearly a month, but only to announce that law enforcement was not responsible for an image of a purported vehicle linked to the case circulating on social media, nor requests for fundraising assistance. Investigators have been searching for a 1998 to 2000 model year maroon or red Toyota Tacoma with a full-size ladder rack and white buckets in the bed that may have been near the Wells home on Beach Creek Road and Ben Hill Road on June 14th, 15th, or 16th. The driver has been described as a possible witness. An Amber Alert remains in effect for Summer. She is about 3 feet tall and weighs around 40 pounds. At the time she went missing, she was wearing gray pants, a pink shirt, and may have been barefoot. Her blonde hair is believed to be shorter than it appears in most of the pictures of her that authorities have circulated to help the search. Her 3 brothers have been removed from their parents' home and placed in custody of the state's Department of Child Protective Services. Again, as the title reads, Tennessee Sheriff on Summer Wells. Everybody's still a suspect, person of interest. I do that with air quotes for those of you that he's talking to. However you want to put it, nobody's off the table. Got it? Good. Save Summer Wells. Justice for Summer Wells. I'll see y'all in the comments.